welcome back to Cybertopia. This is a recording of the festive special I streamed with the HisCursedness crew again back in December. It's a silly fun time continuing the side story of the Amazing Corp HQ workers. However, I should lead off with a light content warning for mild allusions to mental illness and animal mistreatment. So everyone's reconvened back in the workshop floor, and Sam is very enthusiastically showing you around all of the machinery, pointing out all the various designs that he's got the helper LFs working on now. Very, very proud of everything that's going on here. What is it you lot are trying to achieve with going around?
Okay, can I get a look at the machines and work out in what way they've been modified?
Sure, so I mean, Gwyn kind of did this earlier, having a look at what the Papa LF unit had changed to their processes, but you could, I guess, get a programming angle on it if you wanted to do the same.
Yeah, just obviously they're blasting music. So basically I want to see, have they been programmed to act any differently?
Actually, so did Gwyn turn off the music or did they just leave it going?
Oh, my intention was to turn it off, but I forgot about that.
And we can retcon it and say you did.
Yeah, off with the music.
So yeah, I guess as you get down the stairs, Sam's like, oh, the lovely music has stopped. Oh, what a shame. Well, I'll have to have another look at what's gone on there. Interesting. But anyway, let me show you around then. Okay, so the music is off. So if Angel wants to hack into a small machine, I guess like everything is networked here, so she may be able to access the local area network for all of the machines.
Okay, so for this I'm going to argue upsetty techie.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget the batteries. I'm going to have Coil basically hop onto one of the LVs and plug a physical cable in to give me a better connection. And of course, New Year's 2055 bug exploits, because there must be a backdoor to this system.
Of course. Okay. New Year 2055.
Yep, the flask of Spice Winter Beverage for moral support.
Sounds good.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's hope I don't get a 1 again.
Yet tonight.
Oh yeah. Will my anxiety apply here?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's going to be a +7 then.
God, it feels bad giving a streamer an anxiety trauma. Why have I done that?
That's a 16.
Okay, all right. So that's one success against your anxiety trauma. Yeah, okay. So you hack into these things and you can see all the processes and you can see how they have been very slightly adjusted just to include these new blueprints that Sam has found in the archives. And you can see it's probably been 2 or 3 months that this has been in the works.
Well, any idea where the extra sort of resources are actually coming from? Because Sam was a bit vague about that.
Yeah, I think he doesn't actually know himself how it all works. But all of this activity, all of this stuff, it goes back to that console that's in that office up there. And it does seem to have an unusual amount of accesses to everything. It's been there a long time. It's old. The permissions that it was given were maybe set for when it was created, but the wider rollout of networks and stuff amongst Amazing Corp have never really taken into account this old single unit up in the Arctic. So this is like the only machine from its era, from its model, that is able to do all of these things that other machines in newer models wouldn't be able to do. So he's not done anything illegal or wrong as such. He's not hacked it himself. It's just that this particular machine lets you do a lot of shit.
Gotta get myself one of those.
But yeah, I guess also with a 16, you'll be able to tell. If you want to make any changes to these things, you'll have to do it at that machine itself. The way you can access it through the network, you can't remotely make any changes to it.
Hey, Angel, do you reckon that machine might have access to, say, employee records? Modification of employee records? Do you reckon we might be able to get our old jobs back?
You raise an intriguing prospect. I do like the idea of not having to work with you directly anymore, you know?
As do I.
Oh, I love the interplay. So good.
On the note of access stuff, I slipped covertly Angel the toy thing that I had swiped. If you're looking into things, then you'll probably get more use out of this than I would.
Okay.
This thing's cute. Can I tell anything about the bunny just by looking at it?
It looks like a bunny that has a digital assistant inside it. If you open it up and take a look, the digital assistant looks like one of the ordinary digital assistants you would have seen that have passed through Amazing Corp and been handed out to children annually for decades.
Yeah. Can I check the assistant just to see if it's been modified itself in any way?
Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll for it. You just did a pretty good tech roll, so you can just tell the digital assistant looks completely normal. It's just kind of dressed up.
Standard assistant, it's just got an adorable plushy coating.
This is one of them what they call an FDA, or a fancy digital assistant.
maybe not approved appearance, but functional, just fine.
I mean,
It'll do the job, but I suppose the only issue is they've not shipped yet.
Oh,
let it
you're
go as it
interested in the
is.
toys, are you? They're so lovely, aren't they? Oh, they're delightful. The children are going to love them. Well, look, I know I'm behind on the delivery. Look, if you want, you can take the first batch if you want now, but I'd really like to be able to send all of it together and really impress the bosses and get the kids, all of the kids at the same time, all of their gifts. That would be wonderful. Just 4 days, I think, maybe a week or so. That's all I need.
A week? But now, hang on. You had an established and agreed upon deadline. Why not simply deliver what you were requested to deliver at the right time? If you've already got a shipment of it ready, why not send that now at least? You can continue working on the rest, I guess, if you've got no other important duties, but...
I would so hate to disappoint some of the children. When the other children see these kids getting the lovely digital assistants with the dressing and the toys, and I think it would be a tremendous shame for only some children to get some of these gifts. So we'll be ready real soon. I can pump up the power a bit more if you'd like.
Well, have you done a risk assessment for increasing the power? Do we know that these things will handle the increased electrical outflow? I don't know the technical terms.
You seem fairly up to scratch with your risk assessment knowledge. Maybe you could help me with one of these whilst you're here. I'm not so good at the paperwork myself.
All right, let's go fill out a risk assessment. Let's go into your office and sort out a risk assessment. I'm going to need...
Oh, wonderful. I'll get to show you my Festmas stationery.
Oh, now we're talking. I mean, why didn't you measure the stationery before? She's getting a little flustered.
I'm sorry, I got distracted with the helpers. Oh, come on.
She's blushing, fanning herself with a data slate. All right, well, you two keep out of trouble down there now. And she's going to do this huge wink while she heads upstairs with Sam.
God, Doris is the most subtle of people.
Wow. Want to hack the system and get our old jobs back?
Yes.
Also,
Okay.
maybe a few weeks of paid leave.
Ooh, pushing it, eh?
If you can make it legit, sure.
It's good you waited until Doris was out of earshot before you said that, because, she would not have accepted that.
Hey, imagine
Maybe
how
not
much
Doris,
fun
though.
you
She
could
loves
get
her
done
work.
off.
Yeah. Paid leave and funding for the bridge club. That'll placate the old bag.
I like the way you think.
Okay, so you're all going to go back up into the office then?
Yep.
I imagine we'd be going to the robot terminal thing.
Yeah, so that's up in the office upstairs. Everything's kind of centrally controlled from that unit.
Right, okay. I want to find a way to get that reindeer out of the office, out of sight.
You know what, actually, as I'm going upstairs, I've just realized we can't be doing a risk assessment in your office. We got to do it on the factory floor. We got to be looking at the risks themselves. We better get all of your paperwork and all that nice stationery and head straight back downstairs. And another big wink.
Well, okay, no worries at all. Let's do that. I'll just go and grab all the forms that I've got up there. I've got some old paper. Did you know they've got paper still up here? It's
You
a
got
wonderful
paper?
thing.
Oh.
And pens that do ink.
Oh, have you got any red ink?
Oh, yes, I do. I've been writing letters with it.
Oh my God!
I shall show you.
This is
So
how
you-
Doris flirt.
Oh no. Right. I think what we'll do is we'll have Doris roll a distraction roll here
Okay.
to see how long she can keep Sam on the factory floor.
I ain't felt such a warmth in my south mouth since 2022. So, can I add bureaucrat to this?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 22.
Well, okay.
Oh, 21, because of malware.
Natural 19.
Yeah, natural 19.
Yeah. Okay. Right, you can have a success against the malware.
Nice.
Yeah, okay, you just get Sam enraptured in this whole process. You're doing all the paperwork and stuff, but you're also getting excited about the stationery and bouncing off each other with the excitement about, I don't know, a festive pen or a fountain pen.
Oh, I don't know if we're bouncing off each other just yet, but play your cards right.
So, yeah, very distracted, and we'll be able to keep them down there for basically as long as you want or need, and that will give Angel and Gwyn plenty of time upstairs to do what they want to do. So, let's go with Angel at the machine first.
Hey, I'm assuming Gwen's just gonna be dealing with the reindeer. So I'm basically going to try and get into the machine and, as we discussed a moment ago, going to try and get our old jobs back, try and get some leave, and also maybe a bit of revenge against whoever demoted us in the first place. Who wasn't Doris?
You get you and Gwyn back your jobs, but Doris gets demoted to janitorial or something.
Right now, the custodian is an important part of the company, and I will not hear them disparaged. Unlike HR, they are important.
We've already got a custodian. I hear they spend most of their time locked in the janitor's closet, though, unfortunately. Key's very sticky.
So it is an old machine. You aren't particularly accustomed to using this particular model, but yeah, let's go for a roll and see how you do.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to use my core upsetty techie. Don't forget the batteries. It's unfamiliar hardware, so I'm just going to check everything over and make sure everything does what I expect it to.
Yeah.
Flask of spiced winter beverage. Because, going to argue the New Year 2055 bug exploits because, they were never patched out of this thing in the first place. They're going to work.
Yep, for sure. I'll say the beverage is offsetting your anxiety.
Nah, just like real life.
Yep, self-medicating with caffeine. Let's go.
And, you know what? I'm going to argue that Coil is just sat on my shoulder, letting me just pet her tail to keep me calm as well. Okay, so that is 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, minus 1, 7. That is a 12 for a total of 19.
Okay, you start poking around inside this machine and you're finding all sorts of things in there and finding accesses to definitely things that you shouldn't have access to through any Amazing Corp machine. And it's almost like it's got master access. So you can get into records, you can get into all sorts of files and systems and everything basically. And if you want to change some records to give yourself some time off, you can do that. You can access the payroll and get your job titles changed and assignments changed. You can do all of that.
Okay, going to get my beloved Finn 3.0 back. Oh, I'm going to get Coil some better kibble. Obviously, I'm guessing the three of us are jobs back because, I don't hate Doris. I just don't want to work with her.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm going to fiddle around and maybe change some notes on a record that maybe says whoever was directly responsible for demoting us, might have had something to do with the hack. That'll show.
Nice.
Okay.
Like, nothing sort of finger pointing, but, if anyone checks it, they'll say, oh, wait, they were under suspicion.
Okay. Yeah. What I'll say is, because you got a 19, you can do all of that. If it had been a 20, it would have been a complete success. Because this was a very, very difficult thing to do with all of the stuff around this. But because it was just a 19, something does trigger.
Oh, dear.
It's not like a security mechanism or anything, but there is some sort of, not like a red light, there's some sort of warning line. You just see flash up very briefly, and it has activated something. You don't know what.
Like a check or balance type thing.
Something has happened.
Okay.
Nothing is immediately going haywire or sirens. Meanwhile, let's swap over to Gwyn and see how Gwyn's doing with the reindeer.
Okay, my objective is to get this reindeer outside. We know the direction to go, which is around back. And we walked through this place, so I've had a look at the layout. Ideally, I would like to keep it out of sight.
Okay.
So the first thing I want to do is disguise the reindeer, so to speak.
Okay.
Just cover it in things that would allow it to blend into the machinery background.
You're going to
Not
dress
the
the reindeer up like a robot.
Yes.
All right. This also sounds quite difficult. You're going to have to find materials to disguise it with. I don't know. What are you rolling? What are you doing to do this?
Okay, so bodging, because this is the very definition of bodging.
Yeah, it really is.
Fairy lights, because it's in my gear, and I don't need to necessarily have them all on. Maybe some of them on, some blinking lights, depending on what's blinking around us.
And there's lots of fairy lights in this place, so yeah, it would be very much hiding in plain sight. I like the idea.
Yes. Packaging tape, because I have extra tape, and god damn it, I'm going to use it.
Yeah, okay.
Goose tape, because more tape. What could possibly go wrong? Would you allow decoration technician?
Yeah.
That makes for a total of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Not a natural 20, but I wanted it to be 25 total.
Okay, right. So you somehow managed to clobber together some sort of disguise for Rudy the reindeer, and you managed to get him to his feet, and he opens both of his eyes. They're very bloodshot. He's quite drowsy, but he's complying. You managed to dress him up as some sort of machinery, robot kind of thing, put some fairy lights around him. after having removed the initial light off of him, he now has many more lights on him. And you start leading him outside.
Yes, but this one's not on a ring in his nose.
True. As soon as you get him outside, Papa LF turns to it, and you hear a robot voice coming like, misplaced machinery, reassigning duties, cannot connect remotely. And it takes a step forwards towards Rudy and tries to grab Rudy. Are you going to do anything to try and intervene or do anything here?
Yeah, wait, does that use up all of the extra packaging tape I had?
No, because you rolled above a 10, you've still got more.
Oh, okay. What's moving towards him?
The Papa LF unit, the big robot that you hacked into initially that is controlling all of the other things in the factory.
Is that moving towards the reindeer or is it moving towards the tracker?
The reindeer.
It is moving towards reindeer.
It is basically identified a misplaced robot in the factory.
Am I still hacking the computer at the moment?
Yeah, you can be.
Okay, I guess I won't be helping then.
I know you can be if you want.
Oh, I can be helping, you mean?
Potentially. Yeah, like, I suppose it's whatever you want. Like, you probably would have seen Gwyn leading the reindeer outside. That probably would have taken a little while for them to get that all kind of set up. So you rolled fairly well on your hacking, so you could have done that quite quickly and been able to get involved as well, maybe.
Okay, so once I'm done with the computer then, I guess I'll turn around, leave the office and see the robot advancing. Can I try and hack one of the drones and I'll basically use that to distract Popper robot?
Okay, so this is all happening on like the balcony by the office. All the drones are down on the factory floor. You'd have to run down to the factory floor, try and get a drone, get it back up.
Okay.
I'd say
Can I do it?
Potentially do this, but we'd call it a danger move. It's basically a 50-50
okay.
chance of it working, and if it goes wrong, it goes really wrong.
Ooh.
Okay, so I just roll a dice and I have to roll above a 10 to succeed, is that right?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
I do have something I would also like to do.
Okay,
Now that I have all the information.
maybe say that before we go down this exact route, so we can decide what we want to
Extra
happen.
packaging tape, and I have fairy lights. So what I would like to do is to bodge together basically just a loop of wire to throw sort of over the bot, and then tape the other end of it to the banister of the balcony. So as it's trying to follow us, it'll get caught and give us enough time to get out.
Were you trying to trip it up?
Oh no, I'm trying to tether it.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's have both of these rolls then, I think.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So bodging both of my tapes and fairy lights.
Yeah.
I don't think I can get away with decoration technician on this.
Question.
Another amazing roll and still not on that 20.
I'm scared to roll this dice.
1, 3.
I'm suffering character bleed. I have anxiety.
What if you
3
succeed?
total.
Come on, dice, I believe in you.
23, by the way, just in case you didn't hear mine.
Nice. Oh, okay, cool.
16.
Oh, okay. All right. So Angel runs down to the factory floor, grabs one of these little helper LF units, and jams some wires or something. What are you doing with it? You just want to get it and put it in the way, or are you trying to...
Yeah, I'm basically trying to create an actual out-of-place robot to draw its attention away from Rudy.
Okay. Decoy robot. Gotcha. All right. And Gwyn, you're tethering Papa LF to a banister or something.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah. Where do you want to put the extra misplaced robot?
Okay, so I guess if Papa Galef's just been successfully tethered, I want to put the robot just sort of hovering just in front of him. So it's just sort of like a treadmill sort of thing. So he's just trying to grab it, but it's just out of reach.
Right. So,
you know, I've unleashed Greek mythology punishments upon this robot.
poor Papa. He's just trying to do his job, and somehow Gwyn has managed to bodge together an amazing tether using parcel tape and fairy lights, and managed to really securely tie Papa LF to a banister. And it's just out of reach of this robot that it instantly, as it comes up the steps, it's like, new displaced robot must reposition out of reach. And I think this is all making quite a noise. It's making quite a racket, as it's like still struggling. Maybe the banister's creaking. It's pulling. Papa LF is a very strong unit. It's made for replacing equipment and moving heavy stuff around. So what I'll do in a minute, I'll roll my first roll of the night to see if it can break free and get to the unit. But first, we're going to go over to Sam and Doris. And Sam finally hears some noise going on and turns around and sees a weird-looking, larger robot with legs walking down the steps, being held by Gwyn.
Can I jump in front of that and try and distract him?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
And I don't like the way I'm going to do it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Come on, Nick.
So, Doris is wearing a thick, woolly jumper, right? And it's one of those proper, like, ugly Christmas sweaters, you know? The only good kind, basically.
Mm-hmm.
She's now whipping it over her head to reveal underneath that she's wearing a demure work shirt, of course. But it's like, oh, isn't it getting so hot in here?
Oh my, he has been up here on his own a long time. Oh jeez, okay, let's have a roll for it, Nick.
But yeah, like, it's fully covered, I need to stress. Like, there's layers under this jumper.
I would like to emphasise that Angel has turned in the opposite direction. She has activated naive angel mode.
It's less going to be a makeout session and more a game of pass the parcel. Right. I don't think I've got anything on this. Oh, you know what? Can I argue the rapid naughty stamper? And she's sort of just pressing it to her face so it says the word naughty on her face.
Of course you can.
Okay. +2 for that, -1 because of the malware interrupting this striptease.
Public service.
That's not good. That's 7.
God. Alright. Sam's
just not interested.
He sees what's going on upstairs, and then you jump in front of him and get yourself stuck in your jumper as you're trying to pull it off. And he's like, "What are you doing? Oh my gosh, it's too cold for that. Oh, you'll catch the death of you. Oh, you silly lady."
But I'm so hot right now.
Oh gosh. Oh, put that stamp away. We don't need. Oh dear. What's going on up there? What is that? Is that Rudy? What are you doing? Hello? Sorry, did you say your name was Quinn? What are you doing with Rudy? Why is he dressed as a robot?
2 things. 1, this is clearly an off-model robot of some kind that needs to be put out to pasture, so to speak. And 2, natural animals from what little of the natural wild we have left ain't machines, mate. They ain't meant to be kept. And I'm still leading out. I'm never stopping.
As a machine, I don't understand. He sees that, okay, Rudy is going along with it. Rudy's not getting upset. So he's like, well, okay, well, don't take him too far. He might get lost out in the snow and I'll have to go and find him again. So
that's what the tracker's for, right?
Yes, indeed. But so just be gentle. He's a delicate animal, you know?
I know.
And he's drunk how much eggnog?
That's why it's delicate. It looks up and sees Papa LF and a random helper LF up on the balcony as well. It's like, Angel, was it? What's happening up there? Like, why is there a helper LF unit? And what has happened to Papa?
Well, your guess is as good as mine. It's a very strange malfunction.
What she said.
I mean, I suppose, have you ever heard of yarn theory where, you know, how the way something can easily become tangled? It applies to fairy lights a lot, you know? You just leave a length of anything and it just gets so tangled. And I don't know how exactly it's happened here, but clearly, you know, poor Papa here has just become tangled in this wire and tape, and guess the helper unit is just standing there helpless to help. And yeah, don't worry, I'll fix it.
That's the problem with non-sentient systems.
Okay, I was going to say I'm going to need a roll for lying here, but if you say you're going to fix it, he was like, I mean, okay, I suppose if you can help out, that would be grand. This is a very odd day. I've not had visitors in a long time. Maybe this is what it's always like. I can't remember. Doris, darling, please just put the jumper back on. You need it. It's bitingly cold out there.
It's fine. She has ice for her hat. You know, I doubt she'd even notice.
She's going to knock a pen off the desk and go, oh, oops, and then bend over slowly to pick it up.
Okay, I tell you what, Doris, you can finish off the paperwork. You seem very adept at it, and I trust your skills in the risk assessment. So I'm just going to pop back up to the console and just make sure that everything is tickety-boo up there. And
oh, well, hang on, we can't finish a risk assessment without your signature.
Well, you're clearly busy with your jumper situation. I'm just going to pop up and yes, I'll see to it that everything's working fine. And he will wander off up the stairs and just be trying to not look in your direction whilst you're getting your clothing situation sorted out. Nick, playing Doris in this episode, runs a wonderful community around his online moniker, HisCursedness, on Discord, Twitch, and YouTube, and was kind enough to welcome me into it a few years ago to introduce me to the world of streamed TTRPGs. He regularly can be found streaming video games, TTRPGs, and various community nonsense that sometimes involves me or the others from this episode. Bree, playing Angel this episode, also streams on her Twitch channel, Erin Brioche, and Enfys, playing as Gwyn, too has a Twitch channel at Enfys Pranc. So, you should totally follow all of them over there and catch us having some fun gaming times online sometime. Nick's big TTRPG game over on his Twitch the last few years has been Guild of Icons, an ongoing D&D 5e campaign with some wonderful characters and cast, including Bree, and also Keith, who plays Cookie Standard in the main Cybertopia story. The Guild of Icons series is currently wrapping up its finale arc, and the very last episode will actually be streamed around the time of these episodes going out. I've started listening back from the very start, and it's really great, right from the off.
Dear Mom and Dad, there's something I have to do. See, there's this humongous city called Karaki. There was a tremendous explosion out of fire and force, but of nothingness. Anti-magic, anti-life, anti-everything. When the officially designated adventurers of the town traveled into it, they were hit with accursed fatigue, encountered horrific parasites, tentacled horrors, and saw devastating destruction. Without any other option to fight the spreading sphere of negative energy, a wizard by the name of Merfith Winifrith suggested the guild go to a top-secret magical university to find a particular magic wand that would help them get through the null zone into the core, and I wouldn't be much of an owlin if I turned them down. Now, we're in Karaki. I did some testing with the wand, and the power it has comes at a steep price. If I survive to come home, I won't just be coming home having changed mentally, I'll have changed quite physically too. Hopefully I'll be able to explain it to you in person. Hopefully. I can't guarantee I'll be home, but whatever's hiding in that sphere can't guarantee I won't be either. I love you beyond what I can express in words. Signed, Ruffluff Bloomberger.
Wait, Gargoyle, that's your name? Ao says from behind you. You don't have to speak aloud the words as you write them, right? You can just write them.
Wait, really?
And now, back to the action. So he wanders up the stairs, and unless you do anything to try and stop him, he'll walk past Angel and back into the office. Angel, are you actually going to be trying to disentangle Papa?
Well, first I'm going to let Gwen lead Rudy out.
Yeah,
and then once they're out of sensor range for Popper, I'm going to basically pull out a pair of wire clippers and sever the wire and just let him sort out the drone.
Yeah, this is a really good point, actually. So the tracker LED that Gwyn took off is going in the same direction as Rudy right now. So even if Sam was to try and see, is it actually going anywhere, it's going to look like the tracker is still on Rudy. So that's good. Okay, so Sam will pass by and go up into the office, and you can release Papa. Papa immediately goes over to the helper of LF and lifts it up and takes it downstairs and puts it back in position, and will potter around a little bit and then start coming back towards its position on the balcony.
I give him a thumbs up.
Okay, so yeah, you'll have some time where Doris is down on the factory floor, maybe fixing up all of the data pads down there or something. Gwen is outside with Rudy. You have Sam upstairs on your own, and he's gone over to the console.
Okay, I remember I was fiddling with the console early and some sort of alarm went off and I suddenly feel a slight chill down my spine. Can I send Coil up just to check I've not been rumbled?
Yeah, sure. I guess Coil will go up and just see that Sam is at the console and he's tapping things and he's touching things. Coil maybe doesn't understand exactly what's going on the console, but it doesn't take long before the music comes back on.
Okay, in that case, can I sort of just tap into the Wi-Fi and see if I can work out what the alarm I tripped was?
Yeah, let's have a roll for that. Be like a, diagnosis kind of roll.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm not necessarily breaking into anything here, I'm just looking at the system. This is how it's intended to be used. So I'm going to argue upsetty techie, don't forget the batteries, flask of spice winter beverage, and New Year's bug exploits.
Ooh, do you still have your anxiety? Did you get past that?
Oh, I've got 2 ticks on the anxiety, so I think it's free to get rid of it. Is that right?
Yeah. 1 more and you'll be fine.
Okay. In that fact, can I use holiday cheer to offset the anxiety?
Sure.
Okay, so that's 3 plus 2 for 5, 6, 7, so 9.
Ooh, okay. So you still got the anxiety. Maybe it's just tipping you over the edge of being able to figure out what's going on here, but you're maybe even more anxious now. You're like, you've done something wrong. You've tripped something, but you just don't know what. And yeah, Sam has gone back up to the console and all of the robots seem to be back doing their jobs. Doris, you finally managed to get your jumper back on. You gather up all the paperwork and some data pads. You've got a more or less complete risk assessment form for everything that has been changed in this location. So you're basically back to square one, except there's a reindeer outside now.
Well, these risk assessments ain't gonna finish themselves. She's gonna just get back to it. She's given herself a task. She's got to do it.
Okay. Gwen, I'm going to say that you have now gotten outside with Rudy and you can just release him into the wild if you want.
Yes. Yeah. Ideally, I'd have the reindeer trot off and disappear. Do I
With
see
your
anything else
reindeer
outside?
handling skills that you've done, like you'd be able to just usher it off into the wilderness and it just goes off.
Well,
fine.
removing its disguise, obviously.
Oh man, a robot wandering around the tundra would be amazing. Okay, so yeah, are you going to go back in or what are you going to do now?
I want to have a look around. Do I find anything that's odd? Because I remember it being mentioned that something was odd.
Yeah, so the odd thing was essentially that there is a lot more shipping containers out the back than there normally would be, and there is a loo that has been converted into a reindeer shed. But also, like, out the front, there are 5 tons of these, like, ice sculptures and stuff that are not normal, and decorations and things.
Can I break into a container?
Sure. I don't think I'll make you roll for that. You're outside, you're on your own, you've got no pressure or anything, so eventually you'd be able to do this. And yeah, you can just break into a container. And actually, they're not even particularly secured, they're just containers. So you open one up, and it is just filled to the brim with these little dressed up digital assistants. As with the ones you saw in the factory, they all just look like normal digital assistants that have a bit of dressing and decoration and coating and whatnot.
Like to use one.
Okay. I don't think they've been activated yet. I think they are currently dormant or whatever.
Cool. Can I brute force activate it? It's got to be like some way.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's have some sort of role for doing that. I guess a bodging kind of thing.
Yeah, a bit of engineering, bit of bodging, using my technician skills. Maybe not.
Ooh.
The total was 7.
Ooh, okay.
The roll was a natural 1.
Oh, I love this. I was just thinking of the perfect thing that could go horrifically wrong here. Okay, I think maybe like pull out a screwdriver or something, you start jamming it in, and you're trying to wiggle it around and get this thing to activate just by brute force. And you spark something and you get some sort of electronic feedback. And that is going to be your trauma. You have electronic feedback. So anytime you try and do something electronic-y now, you might be a bit more static-y than usual and maybe cause yourself some harm that way. And this spark goes off and you see a little arc of electricity jump from this digital assistant to another one of them and another one. And then suddenly all of the digital assistants in this entire container that you're digging into start activating. And it is a fucking cacophony. It is a horrific amount of noise. And you are momentarily deafened and just completely shaken. You don't actually manage to get them into a situation where you can use them or do anything with them, but you have had this very shocking experience.
Hey.
So that's going to occupy you for a while.
It's like someone's activated an entire room full of Furbies.
Oh god, that is almost exactly what it's like. Oh god, that is very scary.
But are the batteries full?
We shall see how long they last. Angel, you're upstairs with Coil and your mate Sam.
Yep, I'm pressing Coil extra hard right now.
Okay, right. So, yeah. I mean, you guys, you need to get this shipment sorted. You need to get this factory reset. So, what are you going to do?
Okay, Sam, I think what you're doing is lovely, but I think what corporate want is basically just to, have everything as standard. I mean, what's your end goal here? That's all they're going to say.
I've been here a long time. I've done this the same every year for years after years, and I don't even know how long it's been now. And this year, I think it's time for something different. I think it's time that we ratchet it up. We go the extra mile, and corporate is always talking about going the extra mile and doing your best. This is our best. This is the amazing standards. So look, we'll get this done. And I can return everything back to normal afterwards, and everything will be fine. It's been lovely to have you guests, but at this point, I think, why were you sent here?
Basically, the shipment wasn't showing up.
Oh, yes, this makes sense. Okay, well, look, we'll get it on its way ASAP. It'll be fine. And yes, you can just head on back to HQ and tell them everything's fine. It's going to be maybe a few more days, maybe a week or so, and we'll all of the children will get their wonderful product.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think they want the shipment on time.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, I know
they
you
do like to push the schedules, don't they?
Yeah, I know you're going the extra mile, but I think they want it all. Well, they don't want it all. They want it now.
Let's have a persuasion roll, I suppose.
Okay, can I argue upsetty techie, because that is actually about explaining how to actually sort of do things to people who might not necessarily want to do them.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of customer support in there, bit of holiday cheer, and flask of spiced winter beverage.
Sure, yeah.
And
Are you
of course,
him some, or is this more for yourself?
I'm offering him some just to butter him up a bit, and I'm petting Coil just to offset my anxiety.
I mean, maybe you could send Coil in to also butter him up.
Oh yeah, butter him up with all my anti-anxiety things, leaving me to deal with my anxiety directly.
Right, one more success and you're free of it. You'll be fine. If only getting rid of anxiety in real life was so easy.
Not one.
Enfys, why?
We have to be able to finish this session at some point.
Okay, so that's upsetty techie, 3, holiday cheer +1, flask of spiced winter beverage +1, the anxiety offsets Coil, so that's a total of +5. Let's roll this dice. 24.
Ooh, nice.
Is that an actual 19? So close. Okay, so you finally shake off the last of the anxiety, and
So good.
you get Coil to hand Sam a nice beverage, and he takes it, and he's like, smells nice, doesn't it? Oh, it tastes. This is better than the coffee one you had earlier. That was a bit too strong. This, yes. Well, I suppose we do have all the extra product already. Maybe some children can do without for the meantime. When the rest is ready, we can send it on, I suppose. So, well, it has been hard work pushing for this extra delivery anyway. I suppose you're right. Yes. Okay. There does seem to be something wrong with the system in general. I don't know. Did you touch this earlier? I didn't. Maybe when I was downstairs, something got tripped or triggered. Well.
What seems to be wrong? I mean, I'm an IT. Well, I've been reassigned to the post office, but I'm an IT technician by trade. Maybe I can look at it.
I'm not sure. There's some sort of trigger that has activated on Papa out there, and it seems like he's on extra alert at the moment. I don't know enough about these things, but yes, if nothing's really wrong, then I guess I can reset that, and it's all fine.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. You don't mind if I keep the music going? It's somewhat comforting. I've gotten quite used to it over the months.
No one else is around here, so yep, makes you happy. That's fine.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, you can go back to HQ. You can tell them everything's fine. I'm fine. The factory is fine. There's going to be an extra shipment, and they'll be very happy about that, I'm sure. We'll get the current crates. You can get them picked up when you go back, and I'm sure everything will be hunky-dory after that. Why don't you just tell everyone that everything's fine, and I'll just carry on as I am here. Maybe next year I'll be a bit more surreptitious with my extra activities. Who knows? Maybe I'll finally get the promotion to get moved to one of the southern factories.
Oh yeah, you always need to keep things on the down low, you know? And I give him a wink.
Oh, you're a good one. You are an angel. Oh, I've very much enjoyed your visit.
Oh, I did fall early tonight.
Doris, she seems a bit off at the moment. Make sure she keeps her jumper on out there. It's very cold.
Oh yeah, it's been a while since she's had a bridge game. She's probably feeling withdrawal.
She played bridge! Oh, I haven't played bridge in so long. Traditional bridge, right? Not of that hyper bridge nonsense, right?
Oh no, she's in her hyper bridge clan.
Oh dear. Oh, why do they ruin things with technology? Oh dear.
What's wrong with a good old-fashioned MMO, eh?
He has taken out a pack of cards from his pocket. He's like, I found these in the... Oh, okay. Not the old. Okay, fine. Well, here, take a cookie and a mug of cocoa on your way. And
thank you.
Maybe I'll see you back at HQ one day.
Lovely meeting you.
And he'll lean over the balcony and say, Doris, please do keep on your outer garments when you get outside. It's trifling chilly out there.
I mean, yeah, of course I will. I know the risks of hypothermia. I wrote that book. She did not write that book.
But yeah, essentially, you can leave if you want now and call in for pickup.
Well, hang on a minute. I ain't done my risk assessment yet. She's putting on the final bits.
Man, Doris, I thought you were more efficient than this.
Hold your leaping, Michaels. There are a lot of risks in this place.
Hey, I have one question left. Does it feel like there's anything that he wasn't telling me?
Roll for judgment of character or something, I guess.
Okay, I think I can only really throw upsetty techie at this because, that sometimes involves seeing if people are lying.
Sure.
Maybe New Year's bug exploits as well, because at the top of the list it's always going to be just ask them for the password.
He probably would give you the password. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, +4, 15.
Seems pretty legit. Like, he's probably gonna just continue doing what he's doing. He's probably not gonna change everything back and like take down the decorations or anything, but you didn't seem bothered by that. He's just gonna carry on as he is, just trying to be a bit more quiet about it and attract less attention. Maybe he's gonna draw a little less power from the grid next year. But yeah, well, he's clearly not all there, but he's there enough and happy enough, and that's important.
Yeah, well, in all, he's looking after himself. He's happy. What else
and
matters?
The local wildlife.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say that Doris can stay until she's finished the paperwork. Does Gwyn or Angel want to do any last things before you head off back to HQ?
Yeah, I don't think I've got anything else to do. I mean, this feels very suspicious, but...
It does. I've got a +3 crack on. I don't know what to do with it.
And you've achieved your objective in that the shipment is going to come through.
Yes. The company will be happy, and that makes Gwyn not happy because the company doesn't deserve to be happy because Gwyn got blamed for something there was no evidence to blame Gwyn for.
Yeah,
But, I mean,
I whisper in Gwyn.
their job back.
Yeah,
so.
I do whisper in Gwyn's ear exactly what I did on the computers. I get our jobs back, and to subtly frame the person who demoted us.
Okay.
And Doris is happy because the company's happy.
I also tell Doris this.
What wonderful news! You truly are a Festmas angel. Doris is gonna pull you into a big hug. She smells very strongly of mothballs.
Okay, can I get one thing straight? My name's Angel, but do not call me an angel. I have an aesthetic here.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're a star on account of how pointy you are.
Okay, so eventually you do leave. You call in for pickup, and you get a transport to also come and pick up the crates and the excess crates. And yeah, you start traveling back to HQ. And as you are going, you have a hollow screen pop down on the transport, and you see your old boss, the mail master. He's like, what did you do? Like, he's clearly a bit boozed. He's been drinking a lot of the Christmas party.
We did our jobs. The shipments are up. Any questions?
Why have I got no employees? What's...
Another successful mission by the A-Team.
Nah.
Then we all jump in the air.
He's like, look, I'm already getting pulled up here by head office. I don't know what you've done.
Well, if you're getting pulled, then you're removing your opponent's troops. Good work.
No. You screwed something up.
Well, you see, what happened is you're getting pulled up because we've done a pump, which is bridge term for to force out an opponent's trump, usually by means of a forcing defense.
Oh, God. No, look, I don't know what's going on here. You no longer have your jobs under me. I'm getting shit for this. It says here that someone's been messing around with the systems, and it's come from a console up there. And we can see all sorts of things that weren't being shown before. And we can see that there's a fuck ton more power being drawn from this place. There is security footage of a reindeer in the facility.
There's security footage? Doris says, going bright red.
I don't know. Very clearly something has gone awry up there. Sam is no fit state to be overseer of a factory. Look, he's getting replaced. We're sending over much more sane Nick to take care of the situation over there now.
No.
Well, how are you going to do that if you no longer have a job?
Well, I'm not the one making these calls. I've been fired for sending you. And you've all been fired for going and doing whatever you've done over there. So
Gwyn pipes up saying, if they were looking at the footage, then they know that I removed the animal from the facility and also made an attempt to halt the strange, nefarious, and anti-corporation activities by restraining the heavily modified foreman robot. And now you're telling me that I'm getting punished for being the only one to attempt to do my job properly? Alongside Angel.
This is not coming from me, this is coming from head office. So look, take it up with them. I don't really care anymore because fuck it, I've got no job. But yeah, you want to take it up with arbitration, you go and do that. I'm going down the pub.
Oh, I will take it up with arbitration. This is what I've been waiting for.
Oh, fuck.
She's been dreaming about it.
For the first time ever, we are suddenly very glad to be on Boris's side.